stuff, and then we can get this started with. Which also means we'll get it over with.
Speaking of which, I should really check out the show notes.
You're good.
I mean,
Don't
you
worry
can
about
tell because Boston has the question and the news flipped.
Just noticed that. Hey, it's been a great week this week.
Whatever.
All right, are you guys ready
I'm
to...
sorry.
What?
No, I'm not sorry.
You can read that URL, sure. Or with that URL just for you, Moon.
In your news stories, so hello patrons, welcome to the Behind the Scenes Volume 2. I hope you enjoyed last week's. Speaking of which, has anybody tweeted you yet? Alien or Mad Max?
No. Patrons.
Okay, get on that, patrons. Please. But yes, the news Boston has here is GameStop stock story I don't want to fucking talk about, which, that's fine. We won't. A lot of other places are.
Literally everyone else will, and I'm tired of it.
Yes. And the URL for your link is http://www.ohmygodidon'tcare, which has an apostrophe in it. Boston, come on, you know better.
I know.
.com/for-real.
That's right. Now I gotta buy another URL. Yeah.
I'm sure idon'tcare.com was taken the second the internet went live, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does that even go anywhere? Nope, invalid link. Maybe because of the apostrophe, though.
All right, you guys ready to start this thing?
Yeah, I've got one thing to talk about, so why not?
Ditto. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpeer.
Am I really joining you, or is it a more of a metaphysical discussion of life?
You're here in your physical form. You're off in the clouds.
I'm not here in spirit.
You're in your happy place.
Yeah. I see you. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Nymph.
I had to Jimmy rig a bunch of crap together to get my computer to work, so if this sounds like crap, I apologize.
Computers. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. All the early access, behind the scenes, exclusive, world exclusive audio. That
don't do that, because that's going to hype her up, and it's not that good.
First, console exclusive audio. You can get that over there. We do the uncensored Outcast every week. This is the stuff we talk about before we go live. It is truly uncensored, for better or for worse. And then it includes like the stuff you'll miss like as soon as we go live, and in between segments and titles and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good amount of audio every week. Get early access to all the other shows we do, the 50 other shows a week we do, because, we have a problem.
No, don't stop looping us in with the
royal
don't
us.
Have a problem. You have a problem.
I'm certainly
Nymph is
never
a bystander,
blameless.
and I am an enabler. We know this.
Okay, that's I'll take that. Patreon.com/E1M1, the $5 a month, not per episode, per month tier is the one that is recommended. Let's get into it. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Literally, I played one game this week.
All right.
To give you an idea of how busy and bad headspacey I've been, folks, the Apex Legends season pass ends soon.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played that game in 2 weeks. I don't know what level I am. I don't care what level I am. I just don't care anymore.
It's better if you don't look.
Yeah, because to be honest, at this moment, real world things are burning my brain out so much that I'm struggling to focus on gaming things.
Right.
And it's not just real world things as in the world as a hellhole, which it is. It's also work related and things like that. That's fine. So that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully, over the course of this upcoming month, this will improve. And then next thing you know, I'm going to be talking about all the easy Gamerscore games I've been playing.
Right.
Speaking of which, I finished Donut County.
There you go.
Which, that's literally the only thing I played this week. I was like 4 missions away from the end. It's fine. It's a great little switch your brain off, enjoy the Katamari Damacy kind of feelings.
It has like the same spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so good to just like, even though BK is an a-hole,
Yep.
to, suck everything up into those little holes and then spit the frogs out to eat the flies so you can get the rabbits to make the rabbits make more rabbits to...
Right.
It's one of those games.
And then you have a really weird boss fight at the end of the game, which is just odd. It's fine. It's just like, oh, okay, this is markedly different.
Yeah, shall we talk about the fact that there's like 4 achievements related to that?
Mm-hmm.
Lose it, win it without dying, and destroy the stupid statue.
Right.
Like
that statue, I forgot about that. That last level is pretty cool though, where there's a little bit of a puzzle there to kind of get through the facility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the breaking into it and the hacking the mainframe.
I forgot they keep talking about that. Like, let's hack the mainframe. It's like, this is really great.
Mm-hmm. And literally all you do is fire a USB stick into a security camera and it hacks the mainframe.
Yep, it's really good.
Nice.
I like Donut County a lot.
It's a fun game. It's a dumb game. And to be honest, it's kind of just what I needed at the moment, which is fine. Obviously, you guys know me. The listeners who have been listening for any amount of time knows that, generally speaking, I'm the one here who slaps my 10 games on the table and is like, I'm going to talk for 2.5 hours.
Right.
Sit down and get comfy.
Right.
It's just not been that way for the start of this year. There's, like I said, there's a lot going on. I played Donut County. That's it. It's fun. It's fine. It's on Game Pass. It's like a 4-hour game, so just don't do what I did and take 2 weeks to beat it. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
Just sit down, play it once, and have a good time. Enjoy the weird music and the 80s 8-bit kind of aesthetic thing at certain points. But it's fine and it's fun. And now I've got 4 more Game Pass games installed that I need to play, which is going to be fun. Yeah.
Good old 1-to-4 ratio. All right, I finished 1. Oh no.
Yeah, the whole thing, for 2 years running, dude, I had it where I was like 2 for 1, 2 beat, install 1, 2 beat, install 1. And then I got a Series X and that completely went out the window. I was just like, install everything!
SSDs! Yeah.
Yeah. Which is so quick. But yes, Donut County's fun. Go play it. Nimp, tell me all about your 17 games with 56-word titles.
I've only got one that's got 56 titles, but we'll start with the easy American ones. Sniper Elite 4.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you can call it an issue with toying with AI in this game. And it has devolved into the point where I spend hours setting up all these booby traps with tripwires and S-mines and personal mines and all this stuff just so that I can shoot one person so that everyone can hear me, and then I just watch everybody march into this little death valley that I created. And that's really enjoyable.
That's the good stuff.
Have you ever heard of a little game series called Hitman? Because
I have, and I was actually watching some things from Giant Bomb.
Yeah, like Hitman is the quintessential. This is what is it? The what's the machine called? Rubrik's machine? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Rube Goldberg or something like that.
Oh yeah,
yes, thank you.
Goldberg.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine that you just go in, insert yourself into, and break everything.
Yep, line up all the dominoes. Yep.
Well, my messed up thing is not only did I find out that there's different traps that I can set, I also found out that you can trap bodies that you've killed, and since you can pick them up and move them, put them in a spot where they're going to be located, put a trip mine on that body, and then just kind of build from there, and then next thing you know, you just have a body count.
Just like Wile E. Coyote business over here with just a sign that's pointing to this body that says like, hey, who's this guy?
Yeah. I had, to a point on one of the maps that I did, there was a couple of tanks driving around, and I accidentally shot something on a crane, which dropped cargo on top of a tank that happened to be driving under it, which blew up that tank. 3 other guys then set off a chain reaction because apparently there were flammable tanks there. And next thing I know, most of the people on the harbor are dead from all of these chain reactions I set off by accident.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So there's all kinds of dumb, crazy stuff you can do in this game. So after spending way too much time just doing that, because I'm pretty sure you can beat these maps in like half an hour, and I'm clocking in like an hour and a half, 2 hours on each of these maps, just screwing around, not even doing the main objectives. I remembered that I also had Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Right.
Which was the original game that I was toying with AI. I don't play it as much because it's on my computer, and my wife uses my computer for Sims 4. So I got to play that this week as well.
Nice.
There was a 19 gig update for it because I haven't touched this in a while.
Oh, boy.
Get the update to download, log into the game, and they have changed a lot of things since the last time I've played this game. Since I don't know which update, you can now choose. This game was set up to have like gear loot. So, you know, you pick up your thing and it's like, oh, it's a gear loot of 87 or whatever compared to your 60. It's got the color coding and all that fun crap. Well, they have it set up now where you can change it, where you can keep that original content, or you could change it to, I believe they call it realistic, where it's just you find gear and you put it on. There's no stats tied to it. You just put on whatever looks good to you. It's like,
okay.
All right, cool. That's something I can check out later. I will continue with what I'm doing now because I don't remember how I have everything left off. They have also added the fact that you can now have 3 AI companions with you, which wasn't something you could originally do. So I activated that, and now I have these 3 other AI people who are following me around that you can fully customize their look, and you can customize their gear.
Oh, cool.
So I've got a person running around with a shotgun with me, one with an SMG, and another one with a sniper rifle. And I've got them, team. Yeah, I've got them all kitted out, and you can give them basic commands. I haven't gone too much into what their commands are, but you can basically just tell them, hey, go here, come back to me, go loud, whatever. And the first 5 minutes into me turning this game on and messing with that, I had a drone fly overhead, and you're supposed to crouch down and hide from the drone, or else you will let the wolves know where your location is, and they will come and attack you immediately. Like full on, they will spawn within like 100 yards of you, and all of a sudden you're being attacked. And the wolves are supposed to be the harder soldiers compared to everybody else on this island.
Also a little bummed that they're not actual wolves with like drone controls on their phone.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
I didn't remember how to crouch because I was playing this mouse and keyboard. So
sure.
I'm sitting here hitting every button on my keyboard, and I can't get my guy.
Control.
I could get him to crouch. I couldn't get him to go prone. So I'm like, what the heck? So I couldn't hide away from the drone. So all of a sudden, the wolves showed up. And I'm getting shot from one hill to the east, one hill to the north, and they are just converging on me. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had my team there, I would have been killed because I managed to take down 3 of them before I got taken down trying to run up a hill to get into cover. But my team finished wiping them out and then came and revived me. All right, cool. This is working out. So then I started messing around with other AI dynamics, such as here's a checkpoint. I'm going to put them over here, my guys, over to, like, let's say the north side of the checkpoint. Well, I kind of snipe to the south, and then once I get everyone's attention, just kind of let them go. And that worked out great until a convoy showed up. That screwed me. It took out 2 of my AI, almost took me out, so it was just me and my shotgun buddy, and we managed to finish taking out the convoy and then revive everybody, and then another convoy shows up.
Oh, jeez.
So it makes it fun, and I think it makes the game a little bit harder. I don't have to worry about them getting caught when I'm being stealthy, it looks like, because they are dumb and they will stand. and you're hiding from things, and you just got the one guy that's by the road that's just standing there.
Boss, why are you hiding in the bushes over there? Shit, get down.
But they don't seem to trip anybody's attention. It seems to just be your player that trips their attention
that's nice.
Until everybody goes loud, and then they start taking that aggro and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. The other new thing that they've also added is that the island is covered in gas, parts of it. And now I need filters for those areas.
There's 100 soldiers that drop onto an island. Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of this gas is. I have filters now because apparently you can just get them from killing officers on the island or just get them from random drops. So I have all those, but I never fully explored the island because I've only played like 14 hours of this game. So I don't know what the reasoning behind the gas is now because that wasn't something that was in the game when I first started playing.
They also played Metro Exodus or Metro 2033 with us.
Yeah, something. Yep. So... And I don't know what would be the reason for me wanting to go into those areas because it doesn't seem like there's anything in those areas. It seems like
not the best loot or anything.
Yeah, and it seems like the main quest stories, they've kept those areas out of the gas areas. And then it's not like it's not like the whole island's covered. There's just like certain areas on the island that are covered in this. It's an orange gas. Everything turns amber as soon as you get close to it, and you start getting warnings and stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then I found out that I don't know if you can do this on console or not, but at least on PC, I can change the island so that way there's Terminators on this island.
I forgot they did that.
Yeah.
God.
Didn't mess with that yet, but that seems interesting.
Yeah, I forgot this was... like during the era of like, you know what would be cool in every video game? The Terminator.
I think, but don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure isn't the first one also the one with the Predator DLC?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, yep.
And also the Splinter Cell DLC?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the other thing too, with the customization that I can do for my team, it looks like any Ubisoft, I guess, game, if I put money into it, I can have my AI look like that. So I can have a bunch of people from Rainbow Six Siege as my AI team counterparts. Or I can have, Splinter Cell characters as my AI. And there's some stuff for Terminator. I don't know what that is. I didn't look too deeply into it.
It's so weird.
So, yeah, they made a lot of changes.
Ghost Recon Smash is what I'm getting.
Right, right.
Everything Ubisoft it looks like, so
yeah,
could be interesting. I'll hopefully mess around with that again because it was really fun just running around terrorizing evil empires on a small island and then just disappearing like a ghost.
That sounds very British of you.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because we are the kings of the imperialistic BS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hopefully be able to check out. I don't know how much of that, because they also added an in-game currency, and then there's a you buy currency. But I don't know what I can spend the in-game currency stuff on. I'm hoping that I can buy some of the DLC packs or, something besides just like, oh, here's a little fob you can put on your weapon now. Woohoo.
Right, here's a little dangly keychain for your gun.
Yeah. But I don't know. I haven't gotten too deep into that stuff yet. So... moving on from that, I had to tear myself away from that because my wife wanted to play more Sims. I started playing Cyberpunk this week again. I have gone more into exploring and doing a couple more of the main quests. I've been driving around, made it out to the wasteland for a couple side quests I had out there. I'm still not running into any real issues. There are still some pop-ins and random... here's a box in the middle of the road that may or may not be something.
Right. It's a mystery box.
Yeah.
That sounds like a battle royale if I've ever heard of one.
Yes,
is this a trap? Is this not?
Well, and there are times because parts of the city can be so condensed. You don't if it's in an area that you haven't been to often, you don't know if that really is supposed to be a building or if that's just the zone where this part of the level that you're in, that's where it stops, and then the next, zone is the continuation of that. So there have been times where I've just blown through this weird gray box that's taking up all of my screen, and it's just, okay, the road continues, I keep driving. Or I just drove right into a building, and now I need health because I smashed it at 200 miles an hour.
Right.
I did pick up the bike for Akira, finally.
Nice.
And that is a fast bike, and it's fun to drive around in. I've managed to... The physics in this game with bikes can be kind of weird, especially when you get like the tiniest bit of air on the top of a hill, because then you start landing on top of other vehicles and the game doesn't really know what to do with you physics wise. So you're just kind of grinding a bus. And then the next thing you know, you're grinding the concrete rail on the highway, and you're trying to balance yourself so that you stay on the highway. Because if you fall off, you're falling off into the water, which means that you have to swim to shore and then recall your vehicle. And it's a whole process, and it sucks sometimes.
Right.
But I've gotten some crazy things where I have bounced off of a car onto the concrete, onto the top of another building, and then managed to get back onto the road somehow and then just drive off. It's all weird physics stuff. I've also had cars randomly pop in that I've run headlong into, and then my body goes flying into the universe. So that's that's been interesting. But I was showing my wife too. I thought it was funny the way that they do with weapons, because it's first person. You can see your hand, your hand placement on the weapons. And I was showing my wife, it's like, oh wow, they actually did some research, because they have proper hand placement for a handgun. Because if you don't hold it the proper way, the slide when it comes back, it's gonna jack your hand up.
Oh sure.
It's no fun, and you'll need stitches. So I was showing my wife, it's like, oh, that's cool. She's characters holding it right and doing this and that with it and all that. And then I get a quest for go to a gun range. It's a side quest thing, and do target practicing. All right, cool. So I go in there, I get my whole side quest spiel, and I go into my lane, and they start this thing where it's basically a competition with you and a bunch of other people, and you're supposed to be scoring as many points as you can. And I am standing in my lane waiting for my target to drop, and the entire mission, it's not dropping. Like, my lane is the only one that's not dropping. I'm like, what is going on? And I think I had like 10 seconds left, and I was getting kind of mad, and I started shooting other people's targets, and then I started getting points. I'm like, okay, well, that's not how it works at a gun range.
Right. They frown on that.
Yeah, there's a reason why stay in your lane is a phrase.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let's restart this, because apparently I'm just supposed to shoot any target, not just the one that's supposed to be in my lane. So I reload my save before that, get back in there, and I don't know if you can use anything higher than a handgun, because there is one guy who gets kicked out for trying to use a shotgun. Okay. Even the guy specifically says nothing higher than a 9mm or something like that. So that guy gets ejected. And then I just start lighting up everything that comes down. And I finally win that, and I get a cool little gun that I'm not going to use, because I have 900 other guns that I don't use that are just tucked into my armory. Right. But I just thought it was funny that they got it right on some things and then got it wrong on some smaller things, which no one's going to notice and nobody cares because it's video games. Whatever. Right. I just thought it was funny. There's also a gun that I got that is an epic, what they call it, an epic icon gun. Okay. Which it's gold and it shoots money. Okay. And I did not realize this until I started using it, because it had like the highest DPS and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, and it's a long gun, so I take it out, and I also realized too that I have like 999 plus for the ammo count. I'm like, what ammo is it using? Because I don't have that much ammo at all. Like, my max is, I think, 400 for the assault rifle, and that's the highest I have. So I'm sitting here digging, trying to figure out what ammo it's using, and then I'm shooting people with it. And then I go back and read the description as I'm trying to figure out what's going on because the ammo drops, like my ammo counter isn't dropping at all.
Right.
And then I read the description and it says every pull of the trigger costs 1 credit.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, well, I have 123,000 credits, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But also, I don't want to find myself at a deficit because I am starting to buy different things for my character and newer vehicles and stuff like that. So I'm just going to put this one in my armory. That way I can keep it,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to use it. But it's a really cool gun idea, and it looks really sweet. And I
Yeah.
wish they did better sounds with it. Like, I wish it made a ka-ching noise or something every time you shot it. Just
Yep.
something stupid in Borderlands like. I don't know.
Yeah. Have some fun with it.
Yeah. But after I've had my fun with that, I switched back over into Moon's favorite genre, the JRPG.
Ah, yes.
The
Yeah.
JRPG.
Yeah.
Give me the Jest of JRPGs, please.
Yeah.
So I have played 2 of them this week, and that's what I'm going to end my segment on. I played Atelier, Ryza 2, Lost Legends, and the Secret Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you're an alchemist and you basically hoard items and create everything in the game and then just continue on with your day.
Yeah.
This is the sequel to hoard items and create everything and continue on with your merry day.
Right.
They have made a lot of small tweaks to this game where the combat and how you're gathering is all pretty much the same. All your items and gather points and all that. Those are all pretty much the same as the first game. They've made little tweaks to the UI, and they've also made little tweaks to how some of the combat works, in that it used to be in the first game, you would have an AP bar that you were trying to fill, and then once you got that filled, you would hit the big touch button in the controller, and that would upgrade your tactical level, so that way you could do more attacks, more regular attacks, or that your magic or whatever items would get more buffs and do more damage and stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
They've changed that now, where all you have to do is just use your skills or use your items. This will up your AP, and then once you've used a certain amount of AP in a battle, that will increase your tactical level, and then you still get
nice.
the same buffs and stuff like that before.
Okay.
So it's okay. That's some changes. They've changed the way items in game work, where you used to have to create this crystal thing for you to put your items into, where if you didn't want to use your items like a medicine, basically for healing your party, if you didn't want to one-shot use that item, you would put it into this crystal. You would rack up what they called CCs, which was like crystal cores or something like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
every time you got a crystal core point, you could use one of those points to use the item, but it wouldn't actually use it. Like, you wouldn't lose the item. You would
It was
just
like
use
a
it, get its
replicator.
effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start off with that item in this game. So,
Oh, nice.
and I think they've changed it so that anytime you use one of your AP abilities, it increases your CC by 1, which I think before you had to do certain attacks or something like that before that would start to count up in the first game.
Right.
So there's just minor things that they've improved and made easier for you to keep playing this game. They've also added like the weapons, the way that you can synthesize weapons and the way that you can craft stuff in this game is slightly different, but pretty much the same. You're not looking for recipes now. You have a skill tree, which looks like the sphere grid from 9.
Oh,
Not as
no.
massive, or not 9, 10. It's not as massive, but it's there. And there's a lot of SP counters that every time you craft something now, you earn SP, or every time you go into a dungeon and do something, you'll earn SP. So
Oh, nice.
it's not hard to unlock new recipes or to unlock new talents and stuff so that you can start getting better and better items that you're gathering.
You just got to do like anything in the game and you're racking up points.
Exactly. And there
Nice.
isn't, so far, there isn't an alchemy level, which they had in the first game, where that was kind of what was gating you from getting like the higher tier stuff. Now you just have to have a certain amount of SP, then you can unlock it in the tree, and then you can start creating it.
Oh, okay.
The way that they have kind of gated some of that stuff is with the ruin dungeons. with these, you'll go in there and there'll be like mysteries in this dungeon. And what they've added is there are like memories, like fragmented memories that you can find in the dungeon. Once you've explored the dungeon, found all the fragmented memories, you get like these little clues that you have to try to fill in. Once you fill in the correct clues with the correct memories that you found, you'll unlock secrets to that dungeon, which gives you more SP, and then that can potentially unlock things in the skill tree, so that way you can start crafting that stuff.
Interesting.
So they've added a ton of different things to this game. They have weather now too, where it can rain.
Oh yeah.
And when the rain stops, there's puddles everywhere. Looks nice.
Yeah.
What's kind of weird is that all of your characters' clothes do get wet now, and you can see it. And you can see it with your main character, who is female, who is wearing a white top.
Right.
This isn't full on like see-through. You just get hints of, yeah. But they also do that with all of your characters, male or female. So at least they're keeping it equal. It's not just, oh, here's the female character and now she looks naked.
Right. And Steiner in full armor behind her. Just like, it's fine out here.
Exactly. She's not out there wearing the bikini armor and he's all in plate mail. And yeah. So I really enjoyed running around in this game. The story is set 3 years after the last game. Okay. You're on the main continent now. Oh, nice. I've just gotten the map for the new continent, so I'm slowly starting to check that out, and I have 2 dungeons right now that I can go back and forth and check out and grind out items and stuff like that. The battles are still the same, where you're only doing like 1 HP of damage.
Yep.
Starting out, and then like I think I've got Ryza doing 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Now, so you're not coming to this game to min-max your character damage and all that. This is purely gathering to create items, and that's it. So it was fun just running around, making new tools, gathering new materials, going back, making new things, and then, oh, hey, I have bombs now, and now I can use bombs in fights, and that decimates everything. So. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. It looks great. It runs fine on my PS4 Pro. I know that there is supposed to be a PS5 upgrade patch coming up that's free.
There is. I think it's already available. If not, it's really soon.
Yeah. So you can pick it up for either system. I don't think there's a PS5 physical. I think it's just digital.
I think it's just PS4. I think it's just PS4 with the upgrade, both physical and digital. Yeah.
So that's a route you want to check out. I would highly suggest playing the first one. It's not a bad game, and it kind of holds your hand enough for you to figure out what you need to do, where this one was just kind of like, you've played one of the mini series.
Yeah, you played the previous one. You know, yeah.
So I would suggest playing the first one before jumping into the second one. Plus, it's, like I said, it's only 3 years later, so I'm already running into the original cast of characters and getting some new characters. So the last game that I played this week is Cold Steel 4.
Here we go.
I have beaten this game this past week, just in time for Ryza to show up this week.
Right.
It has a really good story. It still needs to be edited.
Right.
But I really enjoyed the ending of the game, and this completely closes up most loose ends, and it opens up a couple different areas that could be explored in the future if they decide to keep going, which I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But on the grand scale of things, with where you've been with the 3 games, one of them that hasn't been released here, you have only explored like the western half of this map. And if you imagine the Asian continent with Europe, you've explored Europe, and there's all of this other continent that is just unknown. So, and no one even knows that there's other continents in this world, or if it's just this one big, continent, and that's it. No one knows.
Interesting.
So there's a lot more that you can explore, that we should be able to explore and check out. And they have already started talking about something that was brought up in the first series of games, where people are starting to discover that when they get to certain points in this world, they just can't continue on.
Oh, interesting.
And it's not so much that they get lost or that there's something like, there's not like a cliff or like, the end of the world starts here kind of thing. It's just for some reason they just can't move it any further from certain points in this world, which is kind of funny as a JRPG player, because they could just be talking about the edge of the map where you get to that edge and all of a sudden some games you stop or some games you just show up on the other side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's that weird implication of, okay, so what are you talking about specifically here?
Right, like how is this, what's happening here?
Yeah, there's also a lot of talk about the god in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you don't fight them.
It's a JRPG. You can't make it through a JRPG without talking about the G word.
Right.
Well, and
next series will do it.
I was gonna say, there is in the original series, it was, what was it, chapter 3, that you specifically play as a nun and a priest.
Mm-hmm.
And you get more into Adios and all that stuff. And at the end of this game, that faction of people and their, I guess, group starts to play a bigger and bigger role in supporting you and helping you with what's going on with the curse of the current country you're in. And so you start getting more and more, and throughout all of them, you're always looking for like these little books called the Black Books.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that this group is kind of obsessed with, and they want you to collect them so that they can have all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're assuming at this point, the fourth one, that you've gone through and collected all of them. Whoops, move my mic. That you've collected all of them from the previous game. So then you just get the whole listing of, okay, this is what, I think there's like 17 of them or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
And you can sit there and you can read them. And that goes into some pretty deep stuff that I'm not going to spoil, because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's happening with this game. And that was cool to be able to read all this, because I never went and found all of them. It was always some weird dumb mission where you had to talk to this certain person at this specific time on this certain day, and if you didn't do it the one time, you would never know. If you don't
have the golden coconut with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I never went back and did all those, but reading through those was really cool and worth it.
Nice.
And it's got my hopes up that there will be another game eventually.
Yeah. That series does so well for them. Like, I feel like even if they don't do a Cold Steel 5, I feel like they'll at least do another, like, Trials in the something.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Cold Steel itself, that arc is just completely done.
Oh, okay.
So it would just be another Legends of Heroes, whatever.
Right. Trials in the adjective.
Dirt. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
We got Sky, we got Steel, and we got Dirt. Whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
But I will say one thing that is really weird about this game is that they jacked up the romancing.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, in the first 2 Cold Steel games, everything that you did for romance in the first one would carry over into the second one.
Oh, sure.
From the second one to the third one, they cut it off there because that was when they moved from Vita to PS4.
Oh, right.
Because the first 2 games were on PS3 and Vita, and then they did HD releases for the PS4 for the first 2. But for some reason, they just chopped off 2 from 3. So then you kind of had to restart up your relationships in 3. And then for some reason, they decided to chop it off again, going from 3 to 4. So then you had to restart relationships again in 4.
Hey, it's me again.
Yeah, and this entire time, it's like you've been with these people for like years.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that they have like one female character that they're always throwing at you that's, I'm assuming, supposed to be the intended love interest, but you can go with anybody in the cast. And they keep throwing this one character at you who, okay, fine, but that's not the one that I want. This is the one that I picked. And in the 4th game, it kind of feels like it doesn't matter because they still kind of focus on this one character, even though they shouldn't, because I have no interest in them. I haven't done anything game-wise with them, but they just keep going back to this one character. And it's like, well, why even bother having me invest in this love interest stuff if it doesn't really
Right.
matter?
Right.
And then when you beat the game, you don't get anything for it. It's literally just there's a picture and you get a phone call. You don't even know what's going on with that phone call, and then it just moves on.
Loud and clear, Mr. President.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So it seems weird that they continued to have a romancing option in this game, considering that they just kept gutting it and then having you redo it, and then it just nothing ever comes of it.
Yeah.
You get a trophy, big whoop. I don't
Weird.
care. Yeah. So, but outside of that, they closed it off really well. There's a lot of things that happen, and I know I'm being extremely vague on everything, and that's because maybe somebody else is out there playing this
Well,
game.
you don't want to spoil like 9 other games. Like,
Yeah, because there is a tie-in. I will also say too, and I did not use a guide for playing this game, but there is a true ending to this game,
oh, okay.
and it seems like it seems like you have to beat the game first. You get a normal ending, and then if you've met certain parameters playing the game, you reload your save file before the final boss fight. There is something, and the game will tell you straight up, hey, you can go back and do this thing real quick, and then you can go back and fight the final boss again, which will then continue on to the true ending.
Gotcha.
And it tells you, I'm guessing that you have to meet requirements, because once you beat the game and you see the credits, it gives you like a ton of information for you to read. And it basically says, you know, if you've met requirements, you can make a save file here, which will let you choose between the final boss or this other area. And if we let you do that, this is what you need to do to get the true ending. If you don't, you can just make your clear save file here, and that'll let you restart the game in New Game Plus.
Right.
So I don't know what those are. I met them because it wouldn't let me make a clear save file. I had to go back before the final boss and then go to this one spot. And it's nothing difficult. It's basically you go to this one spot, you watch a movie, you fight a quick boss, it brings you back, and then you continue back onto the boss fight, and then it's end of game. You get your extended credits and all that fun stuff. So if you want to see the true ending, which I don't know why they do this with JRPGs, but it's like the actual ending. It's not like the super secret true ending. It's only these 2 endings, and the normal ending is just kind of meh.
Right.
And then
it's like
you
the
get
first
true...
half.
Yeah, exactly, actually.
Yeah.
And then you unlock the true ending, and it's like, okay, there's that thing that happens, and then from there, this is what happens.
Here's what really happened. It's like, wait, that's the actual ending.
Exactly. And so that part of the ending was great. If you just leave it off at the normal ending, it's kind of like, well, what the hell?
Right. That wasn't great.
Yeah, it's like I dumped 60 hours in this game for that to happen. What's going on? So
yeah,
if you want, and you should, if you want to see the true ending of the game, which is the real ending, the actual ending, you might want to just check and see what it is. It didn't seem like I didn't do everything in this game. I did a lot of the side quests and stuff like that, but there was stuff that I missed going through. So I don't think it's anything terribly difficult, but you might just want to double check that just to make sure if you're interested. So that's all I played this week. Weird mix of killing anime people and then killing Nazis and yeah,
all in a day's work.
All while crafting medicine and boots. Yeah.
Normal week, yeah. I've got a couple games here that I'm just going to kind of blow right through. Stellaris, the console edition, got the Megacorp DLC this week. It is
really well. Late stage capitalism.
Real good. It's not the most... it's a very good piece of DLC that's not the most revolutionary. Essentially, you can create a new type of empire that wants to take over the galaxy via trading and commerce and commercial pacts and stuff like that. It's okay. It's not really my favorite way to play because it focuses a lot less on having your empire create stuff, and it focuses a lot more on making deals and creating branch offices in your allied capitals So you're installing commerce branch offices in their capital cities that then feeds materials back to you.
It literally sounds like a nightmare.
It's not that bad. It's a lot of like, pick this planet, there's a corporate tab now, push the one button that's on there. Hey, you did it. It's just kind of like, it's fine, but it's not the revolutionary, DLC that some of the later DLCs are. Unfortunately, the game did not get a version upgrade, so it's still on, I think, 2.2.7. The PC version is on 2.8, which is considerably better, and hopefully the console version will get there at one point. I do have 5 of the 6 trophies that came with Megacore, Corp, because they're all pretty easy, except for the one that relies on RNG. I tweeted this earlier today. I was looking up as the trophy says, like, I won the Galatron and all I got was this lousy trophy. And I was like, okay, what is this gonna be? You meet a group of traders in game that you can buy caravan coins with a Z, using. So essentially, you're buying like DLC points using in-game energy and minerals and stuff, and it's very thinly veiled. It's like they don't do much, but they give you a great sense of satisfaction. So you can use those coins to open up these reliquaries from these traders. And I tweeted because I was looking up, you can open 6 reliquaries per game, and each one of them has a 0.5% chance to have this thing in it that gets you the trophy, which I think is hilarious because I like trophies that are like, you did this dumb thing and you got a dumb trophy. Of course, someone wrote, and I wrote this on Twitter earlier today, well, you get 6 tries at 0.5%, so every game it's 3% chance. It's like, no! That's not how statistics work. Bad. Stop it.
Yes, I have a 0.00001% chance of getting whatever those things are called, the special things for everybody in Apex.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of time I've spent opening packs and still don't own a single one of them means that surely I'm at a 50% chance by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. Stellaris is still really good. It was nice to kind of hop back in there with trying some new stuff out and trying some interesting things. Dragon Quest Tact came out on mobile. Tact is TACT, short for tactics. It's a grid-based, turn-based tactics game featuring Dragon Quest monsters that you befriend and have fight for you.
Of course.
So this is what Joker turned into?
Yeah, I guess. I probably won't be playing a lot of this because this does the thing that I really hate in gacha games. Number 1, love gacha games. Can't get enough of them. Number 2,
might say they have gotcha.
Heyo. I don't like this new trend in gacha games. I saw this in the Final Fantasy Tactics one they put out, which, God, was a really great game that just poisoned its own well. I don't like that there are 2 currencies for pulls in the game. One is like, this one is like red gems, whatever. 3,000 red gems to do a 10 pull. Yeah, it's your standard stuff. But then they have the red gem currency that's paid red gems. You can only get those by buying them. And there's special paid red gem only banners.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here with that. Because like they're one of the introductory ones are like, oh, if you do like a 10 pull with these paid red gems, you're guaranteed to get like whatever the highest tier is, like triple S or whatever. And I was like, all right, so just for edification's sake, how much does 3,000 red gems cost? It's like $30. And I was like, no. I like, it really frustrates me when there's like this haves and have-nots sort of thing where it's like, I would be fine if it was like, 3,000 paid gems or like 50,000 free gems. Like, I'll work up to that over time, but I don't make it so that there's this like walled portion of the game here that's just like, yeah, man, just pay up, man. Like, pay the toll, get the cool stuff, get on in here. So I don't know how much of it I will play, because that stuff turns me off really quick on these games. But it does seem great, super cute. Story is dumb, and it looks exactly like Dragon Quest, which is kind of what you would want it to be. Immortals: Fenyx Rising. I reverted to a previous save because Ubisoft came out with a patch. It was like 1.1.0, and reading the patch notes and looking at everything online, they didn't fix the problem yet that I was having. Listen to a handful of episodes ago. So I said, you know what, fine, I'll just revert to another save that was like 4 or 5 hours before that. It'll be easier for me to just go do that and like just get past this point. I also did some Googling about Immortals: Fenyx Rising game-breaking bugs, and that's really the only one. Because I don't want to go through this again. So I did that. I immediately dashed over there, did the right sequence of events. It was really funny if you do the right things you're supposed to do, like the middle mouth of the Cerberus statue is locked tight until you do the puzzle the correct way, and then it opens all the way up. And I took care of that, and it was finished that whole thing. So I'm back on the path here. I have 2 of the 4 gods completely done. So I'm kind of making nice headway, and it's been long enough since I played the game that I don't feel like I'm retreading the same ground with a lot of the like puzzles and chests I'm doing, because I don't remember most of them, because there's 300 of them in the game. So I don't feel like I'm like, all right, let's open this, let's solve this puzzle again, let's just do this. It's like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. I don't remember what the solution was, but okay, like we can. Oh, okay, it was that. All right, that's fine. So the only downside that there is when in this game, when you go through, you have like a series of 3 or 4 missions for each god, and they're usually pretty easy. And then at the end of it, they're like, okay, now you need to go in this dungeon and get my essence so I can like get back to full power, essentially. I was like, all right, cool. The first one for I don't remember who it was. That was pretty fun, but it was kind of long. So let's do this one. It was essentially, there's this thing in the middle, and there's 4 paths off the edge. You go in and you fight Medusa. And I was like, all right, that was kind of a cool fight. She's turning you to stone, so you're slowing, and she has all these interesting attacks. Take her out, and then you can start solving the puzzles. Solve one path of puzzles, you get back to the middle, you fight Medusa again. I was like, I swear to God, if I have to fight her 3 more times, I'm going to lose it. Guess how many times I had to fight Medusa?
4.
Yeah, I wonder.
That wasn't really that fun. But now I'm thankfully past that, and I'm moving over to Ares, I think is the next god I'm doing. But Immortals: Fenyx Rising is just still really good. It is not the largest or hardest game on the planet, but there's so much cool stuff to see packed into that world. Very much like Genshin Impact, where it's like, oh, what's this thing? Oh, it's a little puzzle to get a chest. Oh, what's this thing? Oh, cool, it's a little dungeon. Hey, what's this thing? Like, oh, it's a little sliding block puzzle. Oh, cool. And it's just a lot of fun. I like it. 2 thumbs up. Last game I've been playing a lot of Fortnite lately, mostly because I don't feel like playing anything else. We're like in the middle of a season. I don't think it ends until the end of March. I'm like rank 77 or something around there. This game also has had a Sarah Connor and Terminator DLC come out recently.
Nice.
this game also has Predator DLC in it, and this is this season's version of like, go find this dude and kill him, and then you'll unlock that skin. The wrinkle, however, is that, sort of famously, Predator is kind of hard to see and hard to kill. That carries over into this game.
I don't know how you would know about this, Mister. I have never seen any of these movies.
Yeah, so he wanders around in a fairly contained area, but he is completely cloaked, so that makes it a little bit difficult to find him. And then, just like how they did with Wolverine, he's super fast and just murders you with claws. So, probably not going to unlock him, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
If you're not unlocking them, you're just not trying hard enough.
That's right. I'm definitely not trying hard enough. But I do like the change they made to quests this season. They've had this system for the last couple seasons where quests kind of roll over from week to week, but it was kind of confusing about what you still had open and what you could still do. This season is much better. You just have this one list of quests. Like, all the purple ones are going to stay the same, and most of the blue ones are going to stay the same week over week. And they have multiple steps to them. So this one is like, oh, do 200 damage while you're in the water. All right, that one's complete. You get a bunch of XP. Here's the next step. Oh, you need to eat 5 fish. All right, you do that, bunch of XP. Here's the next step. And you kind of have like 10 or 12 of those going at a time. So you always have a really good rotation of interesting things to do at any given time. And it's not a lot of like, go find the hidden bunker. Where could it be? It's some stuff like, run a dude over in a car. It's like, all right, cool. I'll try and do that over the next like 10 matches or so. Like hide in a hay bale. It's like, yeah, all right, I can do that. That's fun. So Fortnite's still doing okay. A G.I. Joe character was introduced today because why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Just everybody is in there now. Just
speaking of Smash.
I have a skin for Green Arrow, which is very obviously the CW one, so that has been pretty good.
Look on the bright side, dude. You've still got the Ghostbusters want to come in when that movie comes out later this year.
They've already been in the game,
and you got more to come.
Yeah, they Ghostbusters Pack 2. Yeah.
Godzilla and King Kong are going to show up soon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, how are they gonna do that?
Godzilla just busting apart an entire town.
Oh, don't even get me started. That'd be great. That'd be how the season ends. Now in theaters. Pew! Season 5. Fortnite's great. I got 2 solo victory royales this week, which means that the rest of the week has been me getting out at like 75th place. So there's a balance in everything. Fortnite's great. I still don't build, and I don't care. I'm just here to have fun. Pro tip: if you destroy the base of somebody's building, if there's they're building a castle in the sky, it destroys all of their structure they have built, which is really great when somebody just plummets a couple 100 feet out of the air and dies. Thought you were safe up there, man. Not with me. Pickaxe Joe here, taking apart your castle.
I have no words.
It's great. I love Fortnite. All right, that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break.
Yep.
Blow my nose again. There's
something I forgot to mention earlier on the pre-show was the whole WandaVision episode thing.
Mm-hmm.
When they get to the 90s, they should have Wanda say "how rude" in a very childlike voice.
I wonder if they're going to make references to that.
They have to. Come on, considering who she is.
I wonder if that's like she read the scripts and she's like, fucking anything other than that. I will do literally anything, just like Meatloaf. I won't do that.
No, dude, come on. She's got to fucking rub it in their faces. She has to.
Yeah.
Because for years, everyone was like, imagine being the younger sister of these two. And
Right.
it was
The
like
Olsen
memes
twins
about
and that
the
other
Olsen
one over
twins
there.
and this other one. And look at where they are now.
Right. Yeah. I lived, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even so much that. She just seems to be the most regular one out of the crazy bunch.
Yeah. Like, she's a great actor, too. Like, she's been really great.
They fucking better do it. And I hope she leans into it.
Mm-hmm. Like a super big wink into the camera.
Fucking spike the camera and everything. I don't fucking care.
Just walks
that'd be
off.
really good. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, you pricks. All right, you guys ready to wrap this thing up? Probably pretty quickly.
Sure.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of February 1st, 2021. Destruction All-Stars comes out on PS5. This is free on PS Plus in February. Don't pay for this. It is free on PS Plus. Also, it doesn't look very good. But you'll be able to try it out for free. I don't understand why they will let you get out of the car and fight on foot. I'm very interested to try this thing out because it just... Again, I don't want any video games to come out to be bad. This just looks like a mess.
If they're gonna do this, they need to go speak to Disney. They need to go get the Tron license, and they need to go make a Game Grid game.
Perfect. Sold. Next up, Ys 9 Monstrum Nox comes out for the PS4. You have to play the other 8. No, you don't.
No.
Just, you can pick any one of them up. They're all good.
I mean,
you're a bunch of
they're
weebs.
fun.
I can't trust you guys in the decision in this because you're just weebs.
I've never played an Ys game. I just know that they're good.
Just pick one. Just one.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be this one. They're all on Steam too. Or
358 over 2. Start with that one.
Play the first one. The 1 and 2
God.
Chronicles. That way you just have the bumper system.
That's right.
The best fighting system in any JRPG.
Yep, just run into enemies. Haven comes out on Switch and PS4. This launched on Xbox Game Pass recently. It's supposed to be like kind of a chill, relaxed adventure game, which sounds not point and click adventure mode. So don't worry.
It's the brother and sister thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I know.
looks cool. I think I have it installed on my Series X. I don't remember.
I do.
One of 2021's best titles here, Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, comes out PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X.
Question. What do you know about this, Boston?
Very little. I know there's werewolf stealth sequences, which sounds either really great or really bad.
Werewolf the Apocalypse
Uh-huh.
comes from the Dark tabletop game series.
Oh, okay.
The same family of series that produces Vampire the Masquerade.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Which, by the way, what's the new release date on Masquerade 2?
Who knows?
Did that slip
And
again?
who is even excited about this at this point?
I'm excited for it, but like every news story I see coming out of that team is just like, hey, we lost like 3 more senior directors. It's just like, what's... you guys okay?
Initial release date is 2021. There you go.
All right. Okay, well, nice to see the traditions are staying alive with that series.
I hate to say it, but this Werewolves game actually looks like dumb, stupid fun, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like another vampire.
Dude, you don't have blood to feed on. You have to get your powers by consuming rage.
Great. I love it. And last but not least, Neo and Neo 2 Remastered, the Complete Edition, comes out for PS5. And then like Neo 2 comes out for PS4 and PC. The release schedule on this is real weird. So I'm not I feel like this is one of those where it's like, oh yeah, this week one of them comes out to Series X and PS5, and next week they come out to the other stuff, and who knows? Neo's supposed to be really good.
Neo is meant to be great, and I still have never played any of them because they've always been on Sony platforms. So
it's one of those weird things too, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna make these brand new games that are just on PS4, and it's like, well, that stinks. I don't like that ever. News stories. We're not going to talk about it. I just want to mention.
You all know. Don't even mention what it is. Just say.
We're not going to talk about the thing.
It's the end of January. It's 2021. If there's a video game news story right now, there's only one of them, and everybody else is talking about it. Go get that news elsewhere, please.
Yeah, we are ill-equipped to talk about any of it. And
dude, I don't know about you, but all I do is sit here and day trade all day, so I know everything that's going down.
You don't even see like 6 other monitors I have around this that have stocks and charts and bar graphs.
Don't forget bonds.
Oh god, yeah, the bonds. They're yeah. God, don't even get me started on my bonds. This is like the only video game news story this past week, and you are either like me 100% sick about hearing about it, or you're paying attention to it with every fiber of your being. We don't need to talk to you about it.
This isn't even about video games.
No,
this
it
is
isn't
about the stock market. So let's just move on.
But it just blew out every single news story this week, where everyone's like, "I'm not talking about anything else this week." Like this,
literally the only reason that quote unquote video game podcasts, he says like we're not a quote unquote video game podcast with quote unquote video game in the title. The only reason they're talking about this is because of the stock in question.
Yes. Yep.
Like. It's also happening with AMC and a whole bunch of other things at the same time.
Yep.
And they're not talking about those stocks. All these other video game podcasts, they're only talking about one. So let's quietly brush it to the side.
07, everybody.
Make the joke about how somebody finally got money back from GameStop that's worth more than what they traded in, and let's move on.
Oh no, you said the name. I'll censor it out.
I broke the rule.
That's all right.
The first rule of Stonk Club is you don't talk about stonks.
That's right. That's right. We just talk about memes. All right, let's move on to question. Bill Sifford sent us a question here. It says, "Hello, lovelies. I started playing AC of Valhalla recently, and I had a wandering thought. What are some great single-player games that yeah, get those thoughts back in there. What are some great single-player games that had surprisingly great multiplayer modes? I guess what really sparked it was the free-for-all assassination modes in older Assassin's Creed titles. Then he has a list here, but we'll talk about some of our ones. All had really great multiplayer modes that didn't need to be there, but definitely made these games even better. Love to hear your thoughts and any other games you'd add to this list. Have a great show, guys."
Well, let's talk about Assassin's Creed first and foremost. A game that had no right to have a multiplayer mode and had no right to make it incredible.
It was so good. Well, it was only good when people played it the right way. Because if everyone was like,
don't be one of those boys.
Sprinting and dashing, like those are the guys that's easy to take down. But if you're like moving with the crowd and you're like slinking along, looking like a royal, and then you just pachow, you got him. That was anyone could be an assassin. Anyone around you.
It was pretty fun smoking out people, though, and then realizing that you freaked out somebody that you didn't realize was there, and you just see somebody bolt for a roof.
And someone like right next to you runs away. It's like, oh my god, they were okay.
Yeah, it was the perfect chain reaction of you and somebody else hunting two people in the same area. Then you spook the person you're not hunting, and the person who's hunting them suddenly runs from right next to you, and you didn't realize that they were a human.
It's like those gifs of cats when the vacuum cleaner gets turned on. It's just
yeah.
That mode was so good. It's still a bummer that no one played it because they were like, yeah, like multiplayer assassinations. Like this is the dumbest. Why would you make this? But it was really, really great.
The best thing is it was Spy Party came around and everyone was like, Spy Party's so great. It's like, Assassin's Creed has been doing this for years.
Right. Spy Party was also in development, like probably around the same time. Spy Party took so long to come out. That poor team. I really liked the BioShock 2 multiplayer. That was another one where it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to play this first-person shooter with the BioShock powers. Like, how does that... And that actually worked really well. That was really cool.
The best part of that was getting the Big Daddy suit and just wrecking shop.
It was really... like the Kool-Aid Man. Like, you were just busting through walls and everyone's like, oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Like, especially if it was like, if it was a team-based like match, then all of your team would suddenly be behind you, like like a Roman formation where you're in the front and they're like peeking out from either side behind you in like a flying.
You're the tip of the spear.
But if it was like single-player free-for-all, like everyone would just stop what they were doing and aim at you because otherwise things were going to go down.
Yeah, that was surprisingly good. I liked that a lot. Dead Space 2 was another surprising...
God, I forgot that had multiplayer, yeah. Because you could play as the Necromorphs in that one, too.
Yeah. It was Left for Dead Space.
Yeah. And it was like, you got enough XP as the little crawling around baby, so then you could respawn as the next level up and the next level up. Like, it had a pretty cool system.
Yeah. I mean, he also mentions God of War Ascension. I never played it, so I don't know.
I didn't even know that one had it in there.
I didn't either. Ghost of Tsushima has their multiplayer is really good.
Everyone was talking about what that is at the moment.
Yeah, that was the same one where they're like, we're coming out with multiplayer DLC, and everyone's like, no, don't do that. That's not good. And it came out, and I was like, oh, all right, snaps. You made a really good one. Same with what's up?
No, you go ahead.
Same with Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was super good, and they should just spin that out into its own multiplayer thing still. I think that would do really, really well as like a standalone thing.
I may have lost my partner for several months to that thing.
It was really good.
Yeah, and it still had all the stupid microtransaction BS in it, but it never felt really bad for it.
Yeah, it felt like one of those few ones where it's like, you could spend a couple of bucks to get this pack, or you could just keep playing and you'll get enough currency to open another one of these packs.
Yeah. Transformers Fall of Cybertron. The multiplayer on that was so good.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
The Fall of Cybertron was the G1 Transformers on Cybertron before they got to Earth, and it was the whole story of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons.
Oh, okay.
The games themselves were really good, like third-person character action games where you just get to transform into a jet whenever you want and just go do a whole noise. And
here we go.
Who is that made by?
Was that the Platinum?
It wasn't Team. No,
I don't think it was Platinum's. It was before Platinum's.
Oh, okay.
But that was so good.
Yeah.
Tron Legacy had a genuinely great multiplayer game. Speaking of, where it was literally big open space arenas and you could get light cycles and like jump around and shoot people and stuff. It was genuinely like a really cool little game grid thing.
I'm really trying to think of anything else.
Time Splitters.
Yeah.
Split screen, like
that was so hot when that came out.
If we're gonna talk about split screen, GoldenEye. I mean,
yeah, that's sort of like the classic of like, oh, it has a multiplayer, whatever. Oh no, that's all we're playing.
Yeah, it was funny how it was an okay game, and then everyone just got attached to playing the multiplayer. Like I remember playing that in high school.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any other ones that.
For you, Boston, that I have no experience with is Choo Choo Rocket.
Yeah, Choo Choo Rockets was okay. I feel like in college, we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, So Choo Choo Rocket's multiplayer didn't really get a lot of attention. It was pretty cool, but not like it wasn't really what we were looking for.
Take your pick on the Splinter Cell games, either the OG Spies versus Mercs or the Blacklist version. It was so good. Because I've legitimately almost picked my pants several times while walking through corridors of Merc just to get dropped on the head by a spy and insta-killed. It's just like, come on.
That had the cool mode too, where if you played as a merc, it was in first-person view, and if you played as a spy, you kept the third-person view.
That's right.
Which is really cool. So,
God, like, you have to look at Ubisoft and say, like, with so many people streaming now, that's a perfect game. Like, especially with how popular Among Us is. Can you imagine how popular a Mercs versus Spies thing would be on Twitch right now? Like, it's the perfect game for where we are right now.
Well, the Splinter Cell talks are coming back up again, and they're coming back up again with the whole Blacklist guy being back again and making the game kind of like Blacklist again. And it's like, that's cool and all, but, you know, until I see the game installed on my hard drive, I won't buy nothing, because...
Yeah, a non-mobile version of it. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else that had a multiplayer mode that really clicked with me like that. I feel like there was that couple of years there with like Dead Space 2, Mass Effect 3, BioShock 2, where it's like, okay, you're putting multiplayer modes in these games and they aren't garbage? This is really weird. Okay, I like it. Sure.
And then suddenly they put them in other games and they are garbage. One day, Boston, one day you will get your black flag.
One day.
Today is not that day.
All right, that's our episode for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Talked about all the behind the scenes, the early access, the stuff that you get. 2-week early access to We Roll Like It, our roguelike show. 2 or 3, I think 3-month early access to Critical Misses, the show where Moon and I are going through the list of stuff we've missed. Season 5 is wrap up next week.
I'm excited about season 5 right now as it comes to a close.
Season 5 has some highs and lows. It's as we've said in the episodes, it's an experience. We invite you to take the experience with us.
Yeah, season 6 and 7. 6 is going to be interesting, whichever one of the two options we go for.
Right.
7's going to be the bomb, and I'm so looking forward to season 7.
Yeah. We got some.
Not that we planned this out months in advance or anything like that.
No, yeah.
Literally at midnight last night, I think it was, I sent you a text message with like, "Here's another idea for a season for Critical Misses."
It's a very good idea.
The spreadsheet ever groweth.
Yeah, it's a problem. We just got a lot of good ideas. We just.
But the best thing is, I don't have to ask because you literally haven't seen anything.
Yeah, it's great. I'm the perfect audience. Have you seen it?
I sent you last night. I guarantee you've at least not seen one of those two options for every single one.
It's funny because a friend of the show, Big Mackie, tweeted out something where it's like, "Oh, how many of these cult movies have you seen?" I've seen all 4 of them. They are absolutely the opposite of cult movies. It was like Office Space, Dazed and Confused. It was something else. It's like literally everybody has seen those. Come on.
I haven't seen Office Space. I haven't seen Dazed and Confused.
Put it on the list.
All over the spreadsheet. So you can get early access to all of that stuff. If you like this little preview of our production meetings, you can hear some of that in the Outcast too, but uncensored. You get all that stuff early access, and most importantly for me, you help me pay for these very expensive hosting plans for these shows, which I've been hosting with the same company, Libsyn, for the past now almost 14 years, and have not had an outage because they are very good. So we get what we pay for. And you also start working towards the $250 goal of me playing some pants weddingly. Resident Evil Village is on
Nope.
the horizon.
Nope.
You got to play 7 before you play 8. So if you get to that level, I will have to play 7. No Bernie Sanders in the chair mod, sadly. That makes it too funny. But yeah, get up there so I can play what has been described as one of the scariest games. Yeah. Game Club, we got a brand new game going on right now. Late Shift by Whales Interactive, not Whales Interactive. It's the place, not the animal.
Country, no animal.
Yeah. So go play Late Shift. Playthrough of that is 45 minutes long, so you probably have the time to do that. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 All right, Nimp. Hit me with those titles.
I've got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Pickaxe Joe.
Like went into a fugue state when I was talking about Fortnite.
Quote unquote. And then the spreadsheet ever groweth.
Have we ever done like quote unquote video games as a title?
I think we have.
Okay.
I'm not sure. You'd have to do the title check on that one, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Moon, what do you have?
It's not like we can do a search on the website for video games, is it? I mean...
No. Google would be like, yeah, man, let's narrow it down a little bit.
Okay, off in the clouds, Nimp is a bystander, I am an enabler. That's 1 or 2 titles, respectively, depending on which one you want to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Easy American ones. Context aside.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Install everything. Ghost Recon Smash. Grinding a bus. Why not? ? I still don't build. And don't forget bonds.
Don't forget bonds. All right, I have 1-to-4 ratio. Ghost Recon Smash, Pickaxe Joe, Grinding a Bus, and Don't Forget Bonds. Ghost Recon Smash showed up on 2 of our lists. I feel like that's a solid front runner. Pickaxe Joe is pretty solid. Grinding a Bus is also really good. Not as punchy as Ghost Recon Smash, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that sounds like
something inappropriate.
Like no, it's if it's infected with gamma radiation or if it's a Nintendo product.
Right. Or both.
Yes.
If they just put Hulk and Smash Brothers, it would just make it that much easier.
Yeah, it's a prediction more than anything else. I'd be okay going with that one if you guys want.
Ghost Recon Smash?
Yeah.
Fine by me. I really like Don't Forget Bonds, but
yeah,
Ghost Recon Smash is probably going to take it for the most and least apropos of everything ever, which is generally speaking how we usually do titles.
It's true. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Wait. Hold on.
Oh, you got a good one percolating.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure I got the phrasing correctly.
Mm.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
A lot of research going on for this one. I like it.
I had to look something up to verify that it was going to be correct. So.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 693 for February 1st, 2021. Ghost Recon Smash.
Sun's getting real low.
Ironside Smash.
Sun's getting real low. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out with us live, watching the video, listening to audio. We appreciate every one of you in the internet's best community. And we'll see you next week. Bye!
See ya.